A very good morning to you. It's Friday. A very warm welcome to our morning edition of the news.
Can a brother get a warning?
No warning.
There's no warning. It's Friday. We are going freestyle.
In a rubber style.
Yeah.
So how?
Mama yari rasta. Nonjin zop van die rasta.
Okay.
Yes.
Nina Wawa Rasta.
Ninawa?
Wawa rasta.
That's how people used to sing it.
The mother of Rastas.
Yeah.
The song
They didn't know the lyrics. So in a rubber dub style, they say, it sounds like Nina Wawa Rasta.
the ad on and the ice on the cake. Na data yari rasta.
Data even father was a
Yeah,
Rasta.
even my dad.
Okay. Hiya, Sema.
What
How
up,
is it?
Jackie?
Good morning, guys.
This
Morning.
morning I heard the
This
programming.
morning, I woke up in a curfew. What did you hear?
Na 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 na. So and I thought it was you actually. I thought it was your remix. You know.
Yeah.
The
I'm
voice,
that good. Thank you
that
very much.
voice.
Very good morning. Very good morning.
Very
Indeed,
good
with
morning.
full of compliments.
Really?
From
Mwaramutse.
9.7 to the
Yeah.
gates of heaven. This is Contact FM.
But it's about news, right, Jackie?
It's about news.
Oh no, that's why we're here. I woke up early this morning, didn't know why.
1 hour.
So you know my problem with news? I try to follow, but they keep changing.
Yeah. It's always new.
Yeah, that's how it is. So yesterday you had Kanyombia, and he was talking about the Vamwizis.
What was he even talking about? Really? But I loved one thing though. So Eugene tried to pull some of his one-on-one tricks, and he realized he's not the boss today. He's not the boss. The guy intimidated him. Why are you laughing? I said, so if you die, how will you want to be remembered?
You want
Who
me
wants
to
to die?
die?
You want to die? If you want to go, you
Go tomorrow.
Go tomorrow morning.
Priceless.
Maybe we can listen to that part. Let's listen a bit.
Sasa unaona kama mimi nimefaulu kwa nimetoa watu wamoja wenye kuwa na idea mbaya njiani kama My Bobos, Mwizis, Mbaragas. Unacheka iko mambo ya ajabu.
Naelewa.
Acha mambo kucheka, mambo kucheka hivi unacheka. Mbaragas, Mwizis, My Bobos. Ndio zote na wengine.
Umeondoa.
Ngoja subiri, maskinis. Maskinis. Na wengine wao wenye kupevuka
Hawa walikuwa wanaenda kufanya mambo mabaya, lakini kulingana na kazi yako wameondoka.
Ndio wanapata kazi.
Okay. Kulingana na wewe sasa hivi ni watu wangapi umeandika kazi?
Wengi
Kwa film yako.
Mbaragazi umekuja nimepata kazi wakapata pesa. Embassies na wamekuja nikawatosha kwa embassy wakakuja wakapata pesa. Na viorezi wakakuja. Na vikuris, you know the vikuris. Hao watu wa Mbikimo hao wamepata pesa.
Oh my God.
Could it be?
Embassies?
At some point, I doubted his comedic abilities, but now I'm fully convinced. This guy is funny.
No, but this guy, I mean, he deserves an award. I mean, this guy deserves
For coming up with his words.
Oh my God.
No, honestly, how would you not laugh? While you're interviewing him and he tells you this thing?
No.
And you're laughing. Why are you laughing?
And the guy was
Stop
saying,
laughing.
why are you laughing? This is very serious.
Okay, as these guys laugh it out, we'll be back after the break.
You are listening to Contact FM's morning edition of the English News Broadcast.
Okay, so we are now back, and now to serious business, the news review. I think yesterday the Minister of Justice had our news review, and he's like, the drug trafficking law really needs to be checked and stringent. rules be put in place. This comes as even Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta has made an order that today there's a ship that is supposed to be destroyed at sea
In Mombasa.
in Mombasa.
A ship that is
that
supposed
has-
to be destroyed at sea.
Yes, it has drugs.
it was
in it.
caught.
Okay, why don't they destroy the drugs? Why would you destroy the ship? What did the ship ever do to you?
Oh,
Give
come
peace a
on.
chance.
All we are saying.
Why would you destroy the ship? I don't get that. It's like people who jailed the motorbikes. I don't understand. Really, why would jail the motor guy? Leave the bike alone.
The water guy.
According to the president of Kenya, that is going to serve as a stern warning to others.
That's
who,
what people say all
who
the
are
time.
planning to ship drugs into the country via the coastline. I mean, so by banning everything, it's like a warning to everybody.
But you see, I would say if this was the first time
Yes.
in history that something like that is being done, I would say, okay, let's give it a try. But they failed by doing this in the last 50 years. All over the world where they've done this kind of stuff, they strong warnings, but it's still there.
The 377 kgs of heroin worth 1 billion.
How many?
377 kilograms of heroin was in this foreign ship. Yeah,
That's
so
okay.
it's
Yeah,
going
that's-
down today in flames.
But that's the region, eh? There it's the region,
Yeah.
but here, hey guys, when you hear once every 3-5 years a guy is picked somewhere, that shows you that people don't even come over here, you know.
So the other thing is also the checking of whether the drugs are still in there or not. Again, this is where people play the game.
So you guys, you gotta burn the ship without
Of course,
without the heroin.
that's 1 billion going down.
Yeah, well, it's the ship. It's the ship.
Yeah.
It's like the motorbike. It's like
those
a
are the other
relationship.
things. Yeah.
there's a relationship.
Also yesterday,
Also in other news.
the Rwanda police yesterday had some meeting, and they were trying to give the difference between bars and nightclubs and talk to the bar owners on how to regulate insecurity within their vicinities. So what is your take first what's the difference between bars and nightclubs?
But I mean, it's obvious. I mean, a bar is a bar. There's a place where you can
You just sit.
you just hang out. It's not supposed to be a place where you can have a moment of a feeling and you do a couple of movements, even from your high stool or your chair or whatever. But dancing, a nightclub is a place where it's supposed to be boom 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 and you dance and
Yeah, but I probably understand why the confusion and why they felt the need to do it is because we have seen a rise for the past couple of years. Actually, we used to have all these nightclubs, and then slowly bars started getting DJs. So the DJs started turning to bars, and people started turning to bars to go for as a nightclub that is more open air and it has more where you have more freedom of movement. But so then if it becomes nightclubish, then there's certain adjustments I imagine would have to be made because people are more crammed in there. I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, where I live, which will remain unnamed, I'm now borrowing words. There is a DJ there, man. I don't know if this guy has holidays or leaves or anything. Even on Sunday night, when you wonder who's even at a club on Sunday when people are going to work the following day.
but it's making noise.
It's very noisy. You don't even need a radio in your house.
But there's something that I don't really fully understand. There is really a lack in this city of serious night entertainment anyway. And that is really mainly, according to me, because of people being shy about sound in the night. I mean, 20 years ago, this city was like any other capital city of a serious capital city with live bands playing real music.
Exactly.
And they've been banned now. You don't find any live band playing real music. I mean, you'll go to a couple of hotels and the guys are just in a very shy way playing some couple of notes, but
It's just background music.
It's background
they
music.
might as well put a CD.
A CD, yeah. You just see people. But on the other side, you'll have things like that. And people are even telling you, if you want to do a place like that, you have to have
Soundproof.
Soundproof, blah, blah, blah. But you don't do only soundproof places where you need AC, where you need like you were saying, like you don't feel like why they started those bars, I guess, is to have more freedom of movement. In a dance, in a nightclub, it's not that easy.
But what I know for sure from what has been explained over and over again from the city council and even some people who have been complaining about this issue, it's on the issue of the planning of our city in terms of the location of this purported to be nightclubs and the vicinity of people who living around those areas, and this brings that conflict. You have people living around
these
areas.
No, but there should be but you see the planning. There is some of it that can be planned, and there is some also that is your experience. I mean, I'll tell you, like restaurants. Like because the whole thing is we try to somehow copy paste some models that we've seen somewhere else. That's when you have the planning. Now, like restaurants in most developed places, where you might have a hood where you have mass restaurants like McDonald's, like Burger King's, like whatever sandwich, blah, blah, blah. And then you go for the quality restaurants, and those are in the hood where people live. They're not in a hood for restaurants. They're in normal residential areas. That's where you can find now some. So here they will tell you, no, where people residential is residential, and if you want to make a bar, you all go to Kigali City Tower, or things like that. You see, so that's a lack of somehow of urban culture,
And the problem is now is that I can understand, I can sort of understand their point. But it has been the experience in Rwanda, in Kigali, let me say in Kigali, that some people are in residential areas, make a lot of noise, are never bothered, while some other places don't get even half a chance. So sometimes it's really, there are some double standards that people don't understand.
But beside the double standards, I'll tell you, I'll give you an example. We have a branded event that comes every year for the last, I guess, 15 years. Happy People. Now, how happy is Happy People still today in 2014? I mean, you never know, and they push it more and more, like go to Byumba almost. They tell you Rusororo, but the next year they will tell you go to Lake Muhazi. So, but now you had the same event. The guys also did it in Bujumbura. And guess what? Half of Kigali went down. That means that's a miss. That's a miss for Kigali. I mean, what people don't understand, there is the entertainment industry is something that is very important, and especially for capital city. And here in this city, sorry to say so, but it's been pushed out.
So is it because of those in authority in these positions who maybe they don't have that mind of what else or what more can come out of such activities to even now start pushing them away and making their life even harder?
I've tried to even do some research on it because I wanted to write an opinion on it. And doing my research, I could see how much Paris, how much Bonn, how much Berlin, how much Amsterdam are investing in surveys just to know why people go to Amsterdam, why people go to Paris, because they want that money.
Exactly. Yeah. So in fact, so they don't link it. It's always about noise,
The noise and the
nuisance,
insecurity.
insecurity. And it's never about thinking, how do we make this city more attractive? How do we, should tourists only come to Rwanda to watch birds in Nyungwe and then watch gorillas and then get the hell out? Or should they come and while in between these things, shouldn't they be entertained? People come to you and say, okay, tell us, where is the live
where's
music?
happening?
And you're like, where is the live music?
Honestly, I don't know where to even
There is
refer
nowhere.
anybody.
There's nowhere.
Zero.
You know, sometimes people ask me, when are you playing music? I say, man, where? I don't have the
There are
feeling
places,
anymore.
there are places where there is, in fact, but they are always under such restrictions. So you play. That's why even me, I gave up. I gave up playing with these kind of people because all the time they tell you, okay, lower the volume, do this, reduce that, do this, do that. Shut up. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not the
stay
shut up
home.
kind.
But
Just move your lips. Don't let any sound get out.
when it comes to that issue of noise,
Wow, the feeling. Look at those lips.
and then they start having the gay moments.
We're having the gayest moment.
Lips don't lie.
Lips don't lie. When it comes to the issue of determining that a place is making noise to the level of being told shut it down, I think there needs to be a parameter that is used
Exactly.
to determine, because it's not supposed to be of one person's decision that you guys are making noise, shut it down.
Right.
In
Absolutely.
Kenya we have them here. It's called NEMA in Kenya, the National Environment Management Authority. It's just like REMA here. They are the ones who are in charge because they say that is noise pollution, and noise pollution is part of environmental issues. So there's a gadget they use that if your level,
Well, it's an instrument.
It's an
not
instrument.
really a gadget.
okay, it's an instrument. When I say instrument,
Watching too much Inspector Gadget as a kid.
when you say instruments with the
they're
musicians
measuring.
here, they'll think I'm talking about the instruments.
we are very much pulling. We're not one track minded, huh?
Yeah, so there should be an
There
instrument.
So it's
should be,
important
yes.
enough that they invest in that type of equipment.
Yes. Other than just someone sleeping somewhere and says you're making noise,
Yeah.
without having.
No, it's the same thing as the police. Whenever they say that you're over the speed limit, it's because they have that device that shows them how fast you're going. You can't even discuss.
True.
You know, I had an incident one time like that with the police. I was with some other guy, and he said, "You guys are over the speed limit." We said, "How?" He said, we have a device, and he showed me a device, but this thing was not even on. So I said, really? Are you serious? So you're actually showing me this?
Yeah.
And still with the police, we had the story of parading of suspects. And yesterday we had the lady of the drug trafficking case being paraded in court. And people are questioning.
Paraded in court. But is it
She was
paraded
taken
if
to
she's
court.
in
She was taken to
Yeah.
court, and we were
No, but
called to
that's-
cover the story.
that's fine.
But
Yeah.
when it comes to the question of like we had the incident on Lake Ruiru, we are not getting information yet.
I
What's
think
your take on it?
I think the issue of like there was a statement that was issued. I mean, from what I read from some of the papers or print media that had the story, I think the police mentioned and said they're not Rwandese, they're not from
That's
here.
what they said. They're not
the
Rwandese,
investigation,
and the
they said the investigations are still
on.
ongoing.
How do you know
I don't
that
know
they're
how
not
much
Rwandese?
more
You just look
information.
at the bodies, they say, no,
Yeah.
they don't look Rwandese to me.
After all those days in the
No,
water, they
yeah.
don't look Rwandese anymore.
Yeah. So
You check. They look kind of Burundian. Have a look. No. But I think the thing is explosive. But now coming back to your question, it's many questions in one, because the thing of the bodies, the floating bodies that are I think it's an explosive issue. We need to know more about it. But I think those statements kind of hint to the fact that everyone is trying to move away from that. No one wants to really own up to this. But now it's a different issue from the parading.
But
people.
let's stay 2 seconds on the because like he was saying, there are too many questions
questions
in
in
one. But coming back on the bodies, what we know so far is that we have bodies in plastic, wrapped in plastic, right?
and tied up.
there's some
And tied
pictures
up.
actually out already. People are posting the tied up.
Yeah. So there, I mean, it'd be nice to have, I mean, a bit more than just a statement, you know. I mean, it'd be nice to know also what is being done exactly, you know, and what is the collaboration like with the Burundian counterparts.
It would even be nice, that's for me, to feel some emotion in that, to be outraged. We should not even find that normal to have
exactly.
this kind of situation, even if it's not from Rwanda.
Yeah.
It should not be, not ours. Okay, that being said,
that's not the point.
What is even your feeling about this?
Exactly.
You should be outraged enough and express it. They say, we need to get to the bottom of this.
Exactly.
And I'm not feeling that. I feel like
we even
everyone's
tried
shying
to
away
get
from it.
the police to tell us where are the bodies now, because they were found like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they're like, we are trying to make a convention with Rwanda and Burundi on where to bury the bodies. So we don't even know where the bodies are.
But that's true. I mean, that brings us to the second part of your question. There are some. I mean, in the communication, the police. I mean, being in the press, it doesn't make you. I mean, feel good about people who are still innocent being paraded. You know, when that is I understand that it's for police to show that they are active, trying to make the law being respected and all that. That very fine, but I think there are limits here. But calling people to cover going to the court, okay, fine. That is like informing. And listen, the case is starting. It's not the same as parading. But parading,
the parading, and the problem I have with the parading, not only do they show you in handcuffs, and they even encourage you to confess to the crimes you have been arrested for. So this is even against the law, because you whatever you are saying there can be used against you in the court of law. So they should not be doing that, and we as the media should not even entertain these kind of things.
No.
So we shouldn't be part of it.
Yeah. So I've seen the story where ACP Badeje is being quoted and saying, "We can confirm that there are no missing Rwandans among the bodies." So that's what.
But I don't get that. We are confirmed that there are no missing Rwandans among the bodies.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
This is from.
So
the
there are
New
some
Times.
missing Rwandans, but they're not those ones.
So not those ones.
In a previous statement, they said there are no missing Rwandans.
Another quote says, through the usual good working relations with the Burundian counterpart, the regional police commander Eastern Province crossed to Burundi to continue investigations and inform his counterparts that there is no case of missing people on the Rwandan side. This is according to Badeje, quoted on the New Times of 26th of August.
So on this whole territory, no one is missing.
And if there is any,
not a single
among
person
those
is
ones.
missing. And
All the 11 millions
they don't have the bodies, so they haven't checked the bodies. So how do they know they are even wrapped in plastic? How do you know they are not those people? I think now it's a statement, and again, it gives people the feeling that what they are trying to do is actually just move as far away from this case because it's explosive, rather than getting down to the real issues. Knowing, identify those people. Is there still a way scientifically to identify these people?
But
can we have some forensic going on there? So at least we know who are these people before we make statements of saying they are not Rwandese or Burundian for that matter.
When it comes to that, I'm sure the Rwandan police has all the tools and the instruments, and certainly they will. They from the experience that we have of what they are doing, I think they can go down and get and I mean to the case, but the communication is what is really poor on this one. You know, I mean the way to do the. I think the communication, because I'm sure if now they're busy with, I mean, 40 bodies, surely they need to come up with something. They need to work on these cases and do the investigations. So and sure we might see results in the next weeks and all that. But so far the communication is a bit.
Still also on the issue of determining these bodies are from where. The BBC Africa had a story on that, and the headline was Burundi investigates Rwandan bodies in Lake Rueru. So for them, how did they know they were Rwandan?
No, BBC, I don't get it. You know, you ask Burundi, you don't ask Rwanda, and you just decide that this is the way it is. Yeah. I mean, that's
unless they have any proof, then they should share that information with the police that is doing this.
But don't say unless they have, because they would have said it. You know, they don't. They don't. It's just black on white. Like the question is, why you think it's Burundi investigating Rwanda? But this is Africa again. It's a remote continent, and BBC feel that they can say whatever they want.
I think all in all, the message is home. More information.
But it's BBC Africa. Maybe it's Africans who are saying it within the BBC. Maybe it's not necessarily. Maybe it's not necessarily that black and white in terms of black and white. Exactly.
But it is black and white.
And on the financial reports, we had 2 financial stories yesterday. The World Bank launched the economic update report. And we had the treasury bond that they're saying it has increased by 232%. Yeah.
It's oversubscribed. Again, two questions in one, but all in one docket. That is financials. On the issue of the World Bank economic report on Rwanda, I liked the aspect.
You just said 2 different things.
I'm going to one of them.
I know, but the first one I didn't hear the same title, so that is why you're wording it differently. So
did you guys get the memo that it's Friday today?
Yeah.
Did someone whisper in your ears that finance on Friday?
Like, okay, it started okay. We were singing and everything was joyful, and then now you're spoiling it with finance.
But come there on the World. What did the World Bank really do? Because I didn't get it from the title.
No, they came up with they always do projections from their surveys on how your economy is expected to do over a certain period of time, and so they were projecting a growth, I think of 5.7% growth rate of Rwanda this year by the end.
So
of
which is less than what was predicted.
Then 6 point something in 2015.
Okay.
And so they were saying the areas that need to be boosted more, the mining sector, which has great potential, but it is not fully mechanized. We see those who are in the mining sector using hammers and their hands
buckets.
Buckets. So if only it is mechanized properly, then the losses that they incur from time and the injuries and everything, it might really increase into this growth. And majorly that was my biggest takeaway from this.
That's in that projection of the World Bank.
Yes, of the World
so
Bank.
They're focusing on the mining.
Yes, it's a mining. We need to do something there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm a bit amazed because I mean this region has been struggling with exporting mining products. I mean, because there has been this Dodd-Frank law in the US that is banning conflict minerals, and it has been very tough for Rwanda to explain that Rwanda has own local minerals exporting from local mines. You've had many Western observers always telling the whole world that Rwanda is exporting Congo's minerals and not.
But now they have tagging. You tag, they know.
There has been. I mean, Rwanda is on top.
Yeah.
Is one of the best in traceability of minerals. But still, and even the head of the institution here is a Congolese, and still,
Yeah. So let's
but that was one part of the finance chapter. There's another about the bonds.
Yeah, who can explain to us about the bonds fully?
I'm not good in financial reports.
Why would you even bring it up?
No, then we'll do that.
That's why I just read the headline. I read the headline for you to analyze.
And now he's the only bond I know is James.
It's a very interesting one. It's a very interesting one, but maybe we can come back on that on Monday. Just not to mess up lines Friday.
Yeah,
You're killing me.
Kings of Comedy boss asks Konka for an apology. You guys have to apologize.
To who?
To
Who's
Konka.
Konka?
Who's Konka?
By the way, who's Konka? You guys, you don't know
Konka.
Really?
These phones, smartphones, and stuff like that.
Oh,
These guys. No, I think there was an event organized, and one where Chameleon and Amani had performed. That previously that announced that Kings of Comedy would be part of it, and then apparently I don't know why. Why did they say it? So it wasn't them.
Exactly. So he's saying that he's trying to insinuate that his image was used to even promote the event.
Yeah.
So
the event that got like
so
40 people.
The Kings of Comedy is one guy.
it's a
the
team
the Kings of Comedy is one guy.
it's his.
No, he's the boss.
He's the boss.
Who is he?
Eric Mugisha.
Eric
So he's the king
okay.
of kings.
He's the
Yes.
king and the
Yes.
Lord of
And
Lords.
now his company or his team was put on the poster where they were not going to perform. And Conker is according to him was one of
who was really organizing? Is it Conker or there is a name?
you see what I'm seeing here is that
He should sue the guy who organized.
yeah we have organized events before and they will blah 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 whatever this
That's the analog version.
this is the analog version and it's true what you say it's not the sponsor of an event that you need to go for. You need to go for the organizers of an
Yeah.
event.
What will
It's
the
an
organizer
abuse.
do? Conker has money. Conker has money.
Yeah, but it has money, but that's not the story.
No,
That's
but
not the issue. The issue is you as an organizer of an event putting my picture or
But you
poster
can
or
imagine if they
name.
put the headline Kings of Comedy boss asks maybe Eugene for an apology. It
Yeah.
wouldn't
So
be-
who the hell
Yeah.
is Eugene?
who's
There's a
Eugene?
Kanyombi I told you, and nobody knows you.
And everybody follows me and you.
Nobody follows you.
Mercedes.
Yeah. So basically that's it. So Miss Rwanda finally active. She's gone to Europe for a tour.
She moves.
Yeah. So now she's
active.
moving because
She's active. She
it's
moves.
because Joy is back.
She's active.
While Joy is.
That's being active. How is it part of the Miss Rwanda thing?
I
Yeah.
think.
Just being on a tour?
I mean, she
I'm
walks
watching.
now. I mean, she walks.
She
She's
walks
The
now.
trip is part
She
of the perks that came with her crowning, so she has to do it. I mean, part of the.
So where is she? What is she going to do in Europe? Does
She's
it
on
say?
holiday.
Catwalking.
I shall be visiting Rwandans in France to discuss how we can work together on different projects that can
Really?
contribute to our country's development.
Okay.
So she's starting the Rwanda Day already, meeting several Rwandans there. Tour.
She can have Rwanda days. Then.
Yeah.
Or Rwanda gays.
The moment.
Lion
Why do
here
you
was-
feel uncomfortable when I say gays?
No,
Get in touch with the gay in you.
I was coming to the issue of he should be the auditor
The who,
general.
the what?
The Auditor General.
Yeah.
Why?
So these tours, who's financing them?
No, I don't care who's financing Miss Rwanda. I would finance her
Really?
myself.
You sure it's not tax money pay? Taxpayer money?
Yeah. So voila. What else do we have here? I'm in love with the Kitenge. Okay, that one.
But by the way, have you ever watched a TV ad for those Kitenges, for the Vlesco or brand, or the famous
on which TV?
no, on any of those international channels on over Africa. I've never watched
None comes to mind. I have a feeling.
very styleful, I understand that people are in love with Kitenge. When you see those kinds of ads,
Interestingly enough, the producers of Kitenge are from Holland.
right? But that's what even that brand I'm telling you, Vlesco, Vesco, it's
I
Holland.
think it's Vlasco. Yeah,
Vlasco or
something
something like that. Yeah.
Speaking of adverts, these guys are still back. They're still around.
The regulator is not.
SMS.
Envy Club,
It's
whoever
even
you
worse.
No, but Rura, you really have to come
Envy
over here.
Club, Lebanese restaurant,
The club,
Papyrus,
Club Next,
Club Previous.
Club Yesterday. There are so many
Tomorrow.
of these SMSs still going around on our phones, and I think it's unfair if someone said that we are going to act on it and nothing has happened.
They're not
Yeah,
doing anything.
yeah. But are we going to start?
And I actually
Suing
like
them.
some of these places, but now I don't want to go there.
No,
They're annoying me.
no, but it's true. I've got the same. Some of these places I would like to advertise and advocate for and endorse those places, but with these SMSs, it's just killing me.
Just annoying.
Even my feeling about them.
So they don't make it to your list of those to be endorsed. So who are we endorsing today, by the way, on our
By
segment?
the way, what are we endorsing today?
Why would you even bring that
Coffee.
Probably the best.
up? Okay,
coffee.
today's Friday. Here's it. No, endorse whatever you want, please. Today, just don't endorse government just for one day.
Just for one day.
It's Friday.
So on the sports, we had the Confederation of Africa Football has rejected the
But
appeal.
are we through with? Yes. Tell
Yes.
us. I mean,
that's a niet.
that's
Nice
such
try.
an important and we didn't treat that like headline, like to start with.
It's not a
You
headline.
mean-
It's
you mean-
disappointing news. We
What?
need Amavubi to go and play.
So, but they refused, right?
Yeah.
So Rwanda lost.
They're not in
Yep,
the
it's a
the
niet.
fixtures.
Not a chance.
It's
What? No, but tell us the news. I don't know. So
They appealed. They refused. They lost.
that refusing
Black
that,
on
didn't-
white like
I
that?
didn't I didn't see it up to now. I haven't. If
because
there's any
yesterday
someone
I
show me.
saw on Twitters like guys saying that it I think it was on Facebook of another radio that
will not be mentioned.
exactly. I was waiting for the guys to complete the dots, right? So, but they say it was on that that Rwanda had been accepted.
That's what I'm
And now
saying.
you
I
said you
haven't
think the
seen
contrary.
any. I'm not me. It's Jackie.
Exactly.
I've not seen,
But
and
if
that's
it
why,
was your
and
source.
that's why I'm
Their
reluctant to say whether we're in or out, because there hasn't been any black and white statement saying that. What was said is that we are not changing the fixtures for the days one, I think, and days two when Rwanda was supposed to play. So that again technically knocks us out, just keeps us out, because if there was any change, if we had been accepted, then that fixture would have been changed. Where Rwanda was supposed to play, we would see Rwanda there. But if Rwanda is still not there, that technically says we lost. But I haven't seen a statement saying that.
What
In
other
black and
statement do you want to
But
see?
are they supposed to do a statement now?
They were supposed to
They're supposed
announce
come back with an answer
27th actually
within a
on
few hours or
27th.
something like that.
Yeah, but
Few hours.
Then
That's a
what
long
they had
time
said.
ago.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
a few
it's
hours
taken
were
so
long
long.
past.
We had reporters writing their scripts halfway, just leaving the dot and having to wait even when it was time to go on air.
So we don't know.
So
Another day
basing on that of not changing the fixtures, maybe we are already out.
Maybe we are.
Or maybe we are. Yeah.
Ask
That
me how
news
much
for
I
Friday.
care. Please.
Do you
indulge
care?
me.
Do you care, a lion? How much do you care? Whether they're
national
there or
team-
How low can you go?
Yeah. So
And
the president's one of President Kenyatta's BMWs in his motorcade is missing.
Was in the ship?
Is missing.
It's in the ship.
One of them is missing.
Yes, there are some reports that it was carjacked at gunpoint, but
A presidential car?
yeah,
Carjacked?
one.
So isn't it part of a motorcade? Or was he at that time of the carjacking in question?
Was he on a moto? Was he
running
on
an
a
errand
bike?
on his own?
Was he on a moto or?
There's so many twists and turns in this particular story, because there's one person who works, he's in the team of the president's communication team, the digital team. Him is saying digital. Him is saying that is not true, because basing on the kind of security and environment of any of the cars that are usually in the president motorcade, it's not possible for even one of them to be out without accustomed security. So for him, he says that is not true. But the media is still reporting and saying it was somewhere. I know if I say the name, nobody probably will understand. But it was in a certain town on its own, and that's when it was carjacked. So
it wasn't in a motorcade.
It wasn't in
It was
in
on
the
a private.
a mission assignment, maybe. So if one of the president's cars can also and take
Only in Kenya, my friend. Only in Kenya. I'm so glad you're the ones who say
It's not only in Kenya. It's not only in Kenya. There's a
Well,
time-
none is
there's a time we did-
Where else?
There's a time we did a story about some rubber stamp for some president that had been stolen. Was it in Rwanda or in Burundi?
What kind of
Rubber
stuff?
stamp.
Of a
The president's
president?
rubber stamp went missing.
That
Was it
long
in
ago.
Rwanda or
Long
Burundi?
ago, there
So
was
it's
a
not
time.
only in Kenya.
If
It's not
it
only
was in
Kenya.
Rwanda, the person who took the rubber stamp in question would go missing too. Probably in that river.
Yeah. So if it is true, then there must be a level of I don't know if I could call it incompetence or what, because you'd expect you wouldn't. It's very rare. This is one of those stories that you hear of a man biting a dog, which becomes very funny. For a presidential car to be carjacked at gunpoint and just disappears and is unaccounted for, and
Well,
then
that's
on the
funny,
other
but
side they're saying it is there. It is.
Yeah.
It's not a story.
Because I imagine that if it was carjacked, if it was in fact carjacked, it's how can I best put it? It's not. I don't think it speaks of incompetence. It can happen because all of these systems are operated by humans anyway, so human error can happen. The guy could have a call, a short kind, and say, okay, let me go on the side while they're speeding away, then something like that happens.
Yeah,
but it's not good for PR anyway.
But but
I can imagine you would deny.
it can never happen in those circumstances.
No,
it
but
can
I'm
only
just-
happen.
I'm
I know
just
that you're
joking.
just JJ.
But it can happen. People enter the White House and get inside. People did that at the inauguration of Barack Obama. It doesn't mean that it's not. And the White House is probably one of the state houses that are the best guarded. And so wherever there's humans, you can still find a way of getting
But
away with stuff.
if that car has been found somewhere alone, not part of a group, and but tell me, when it's a presidential car, do all the presidential cars have the presidential number plate?
Normally they are different. They are categorized differently. There's one which has the escort, the way you they have different number plates, of course, with different tasks of whatever they are supposed to be doing. If it is an escort car, if it is just for security,
If it's a rally car,
yeah. So basically,
BM, I guess.
and it's a BMW for that matter. So yeah, gone.
Bob Marley and the Wailers.
And the Wailers. Still, in Kenya, if you have 2,000 Rwandan, 2,000 Kenya shillings, how much is that in francs times 8? That is 16,000. You can get a baby. You can buy one.
With 16,000
That is
francs.
bad publicity for
They're
that
saying
country.
they're saying that Kenyans are selling
I'm so happy
babies.
you're the ones.
That's
They're
bad
selling-
publicity.
they're-
You
Let
can
me
buy a
That's-
baby.
that's-
Can you imagine someone selling a baby
How
for
desperate are
16,000
you?
Rwandan francs?
How desperate.
16,000 francs.
Yeah, so it has been revealed that there is a cartel of people who are selling babies at that amount of money. So you go.
So you're not shocked that they're selling babies. You're just shocked at the price.
Me, I'm shocked. You can imagine. I mean, life is priceless. How can you just sell a whole baby for only
Desperation,
16,000?
my friend. Desperation.
Coming back to the discussion we were having about Rwanda Day, I'm seeing a story here where they're saying many Rwandans fly from Kigali.
I love how you're like, no, let's
attend-
not talk about Kenya
let's not
anymore.
talk about
Let's
those-
go back to Rwanda. Focus, people, focus.
Let's go back to that discussion because we left it
Which
hanging
one?
yesterday.
Which one? Which
the
one?
Rwanda Day and its impact, its effectiveness, and what is it's important. Is it meeting the objective that it was started for in the first place?
I don't know.
Ladies first, what do you think?
I don't know.
You're the one bringing up
But
the
you're
subject.
bringing up the subject, so you must have an idea, because yesterday
She's
what
hoping
is
we
it-
would butt
what is
heads
it-
on it.
What is it that we
Nice try.
didn't say? What else do you want to know about that story?
Is it
And I
really
know how
meeting
that
its
story
objective?
ended yesterday. I'm not trying to go there again. Some people are sensitive about the issue.
So, I can't remember because we had 2 sessions. We had 2 sessions, and we have a Kinyarwanda. No,
The first one was explosive.
my being sensitive is when people just
I didn't
nonsense.
name you, but since you're the one volunteering the information,
I didn't even think that you were talking about me, so I just volunteered to say my take on this
You
is
just-
that
could you
that
diffuse?
people just when it's nonsense, it's nonsense. What is it that you have against Rwanda Day?
We need to know it's
What is that you need
what's
to know?
what's the impact of the Rwanda Day to the Rwandans here back at home, why would you take the events to Atlanta, to Toronto, and wherever?
Let me tell you. The impact on Rwanda is that it's part of a nation building process.
How?
Well, because you are inclusive. That means that Rwanda, the limit of Rwanda is where Rwandans are, not the border of Kagitumba. You see, that is the whole philosophy behind that.
So that's fully understandable. What I don't understand maybe is why do you feel bad about people questioning that? Why
I don't feel bad. I'm feeling bad about people having already thinking that this is nonsense.
But that's not what was said. That's not.
I was questioning. I say, what is it? Because you bring it up, what is the impact? And I say, I'll give you the background. What is under there? It's part of what you are doing. What Rwanda has been doing ever since '94 is a rebuilding, and it's part of a nation building process.
I get that, but the question that was asked was, what was the expectation setting up this kind of framework, and then is it meeting those expectations? So if there are some people who say it's useless, it's certainly not said here, but questioning things, I don't understand why.
That's not of a problem. That's not of a problem. That's what I'm part of the discussion. And I say my part of experience there. So I'm not questioning that, but I'm just saying, if you think it's useless, what is your take on that? Why would it be useless?
What I would say here is that in such a situation, I will just give the guidelines for anybody who probably would like to know whether it is useful or not useful. Some of the things to look for. Number one, what I know such kind of things or activities help in is mobilizing people who are away, and give probably some announcements on the growth and development in their countries. Tell them also on some of the opportunities that are back home. And even also when the president is there are certain things that he will be able to address while they are meeting there. So for those who want to know whether it is helpful or not helpful, they should go back, flip the pages back, look at the past events, if they tackled any of those issues or the things that I'm saying.
So
if they are not,
it doesn't make sense what you're saying.
Yes.
It makes sense to a certain extent. Let me not just dismiss everything you're saying. It makes sense, but why should it be your homework to go back? That's what it comes back to. Who organizes these things? And then do we have a tally of, okay, if you are mobilizing people and if you are telling them of opportunities, mostly of the economic kind, then is there a way to account for that and say, okay, now since we've started Rwanda Day, it has really generated this or that we have really seen an increase of diaspora people now being involved in the economy, sending money or setting up businesses or working in partnership.
Who should do that?
Those who
should do that?
That's why I asked you.
I
Who
think
organizes these things?
I don't know.
No, let me tell you.
Tell us.
Give me the opportunity. You ask it, then you keep talking.
It's there.
Yeah. So if you tell me that the diaspora, in conjunction with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, are the ones organizing this, then they are the ones who should rightfully be writing reports about it, trying to follow up on these things. Because if you encourage, for example, diaspora to do business in Rwanda, there is a certain way that you have set up to facilitate it. So those ones who have that kind of data can put it together to help people say, okay, you know what, here is, and it helps even for the detractors of Rwanda Day to say, well, we can actually account for what it is good for.
But it's Lion, you make it such a process. I mean,
but it has to be a process. Otherwise, if you tell me it's just emotion,
no. Because you see now we're dealing with anywhere in the world, government unless you are in just pure propaganda and all that, but anywhere in the world, government are not the best communicators in general, you know. So, but it takes for other people, for other agencies to take care of the communications of governments and things like that. But I don't see for each action in which authorities would be contributing, participating, or even elaborating this kind of things, of policies, to always have now a unit that says we have done this, it gives us this, and then we had that. But we can also have the side of the media, journalists, going to there, getting to know what it is, what has it brought to the society and all that. I mean, detractors, if there are detractors, okay, fine. Let them really say what they don't think is right there. But with precise, not just saying.
I still do not understand. I still don't understand what your problem is with that.
No.
If we have, for
with
example,
what? With what? You're telling me what is wrong with
accounting?
Tell me exactly
No,
what
you
is it
see,
that you
no,
have
no,
a
but
problem.
You're diverting.
No, I'm not.
Never since yesterday
Yes.
did I say the word wrong. Never did I say
What
that.
I-
So
you're diverting.
when
what
you
I'm
say
what I'm
you have
telling
detractors,
you have
guys
I'm-
saying
okay,
something is
I'm
wrong.
telling you, I'm telling you that
Yes.
there is an initiative.
Yes.
What is wrong of accounting for what this initiative is
But
doing?
accounting
So-
like
so-
what?
so-
Accounting like what?
What
Just
I
be
know-
precise.
what I know-
Accounting what?
If you
Accounting what?
let me give
The
you
money?
another example. No, why are you talking about money?
Money.
That's
So,
not what
so
I'm
tell
saying.
me what accounting.
Let me ask you
Be
something.
precise.
For example, we had a genocide here, and we had now initiatives that were made to reconcile the society. Now, those people who are in those initiatives have a way of trying to follow up and see, are we reaping the rewards from this? Is it really effective? Are we getting to the objective we had set for ourselves? However you tally it is up to you, and I'm not the expert in that. But don't tell me that you have initiatives and it's okay. It's just there. No one
But it's
should
not-
do any report on it. No one should
but-
try to see
Like
if
how
it's
many
effective.
projects have been
But that's
started
not-
under
that's not
the Rwanda Day?
You
I
see,
will-
there you're tweaking
No,
Of course,
I
what I
am
know,
saying
what I
exactly-
know from what
exactly
from
on
what
my
I read,
point.
from what I read about Rwanda Day, I don't know. For lack of a better word, I would term it. Also, it can also come out like an issue, like an expo, in a way, because this is an opportunity. From what I'm reading here, local businesses have been using the day to showcase their products and expand their market base, such as in the case of Enterprise Uruwitso, whose passion fruit juice and hot pepper are already sold in markets in the West. So it's also an opportunity, basing on what I've read, for people to showcase what they do and everything like that. So if we're talking about the results from it, maybe we should be looking in those lines. How many companies, how many people, how many opportunities have been opened up? How much is coming back home from the diaspora remittances? And if we need this kind of information, I think it is now up to us. If you already know the organizers, then it's about someone asking them. I mean, the precise
What
question.
organizers?
Of course.
He has said the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other players, the
organic-
private
You see-
sector.
You see, that is
True.
the problem. That is the problem. You just throwing out slogans like, "Oh, Rwanda Day, why?
Yeah.
But is it effective? Blah blah. Who are they anyway?" But no, if you question, why don't you do a story? Go after that, you know. So and then do your research.
The registration is going on
I mean,
with the
all
private
of those
sector
Rwanda Days have
federation.
been public. It's
Yeah.
there. You can see. You can watch it. You can ask, and after that, you can go to the ministry. You can do your job as a journalist. If you have a story there, go out. But don't just say they should
But
organize.
I don't know
their
why.
communication.
I don't know why you get emotional.
but
The
no,
thing
no,
we're
no.
asking is
I'm
the
getting
thing is
emotional
the thing we're
at the
asking
way.
is
No.
I'm getting emotional at the way that people always turn down things.
Also,
always.
no,
but
no.
they don't do their
but-
part.
but-
Where-
They don't do their part. They
But
just say the other guys are
you
like
get emotional on us, and we didn't say that.
Where-
That's what I'm
We're
saying.
just
I'm-
questioning
I'm
that,
not
like the
getting
other
emotional
public
on
are
you
guys,
questioning.
I'm getting on the same slogans always coming
What
back.
I know-
When you don't do your job, you don't do. You don't
We are
know.
doing our job right
Then
now.
go.
As you're
That's
questioning,
what
we
I
are
was
already
questioning.
doing the job.
but don't question me. Then go.
We are
go to the-
questioning you because you have also been part of the people who go for the Rwanda Day.
I know you're questioning me, and I've been telling you that I've been enjoying that, and I think all the people who have been participating to that, and even the purpose, it works. But you,
How does it work?
What I know,
But no,
Lion
but
is right
do you-
on
do you-
on the part
no one
of
even said
the
it doesn't
ministry.
work. Or ask myself, what were the objectives, and are we meeting these objectives?
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
Everything else that happened is out of my control.
Yeah, what I know for sure, someone has to take also the first step, not to wait for the reporters to ask for these questions. That also is something else that has to be done.
Eugene, when it's there, no, when we have Rwanda Day,
Yes. Yes.
it's live. You have people there.
No.
What stopped us? What stopped a journalist to question
No,
them?
no, we're talking about also the organizers taking the first step
Yes.
of giving reports of the past events. Even before a journalist asks, put it on the website somewhere.
But
these
reports,
are some of.
But reports like what? What do you expect?
I mean, how much money has now been? What kind of investments have taken place in terms of?
We have started
from
this
Rwanda
because
to there.
of Rwanda
from
Day.
there
We started
to
this company from the Rwanda Day. This came out from the Rwanda Day, and you're seeing now it's taking place.
Okay, so you just telling the government, you're advising the government that they
We are
should
not
have
advising. We want
They
to see
should.
the results.
You're
We want to see
advising.
the
Yes,
results.
we are advising them. We are
Yeah,
telling
you're-
them
you're
they
advising.
need
You're
to.
advi-
They
you're-
should not leave this loophole for people to doubt the impact of this activity.
But for me, no, it's really beyond me. It gets very, very emotional.
It's
but
not
again,
emotional. I mean,
yes, it's
we are emotional when we talk,
When-
when we
yeah,
discuss.
yeah, what I- what
any
I'm
subject,
saying-
for any
what-
topic, will be emotional.
but
so don't
some,
take it.
some topics seem
Are
to be more emotional
equal.
than others.
Some
Now,
emotions are-
again,
it's
no one
nonsense
even
when-
no one even said they are not doing it. I asked myself the question, and then I was hoping that some of you may know better than me. So, but somehow it's diverted into, you say slogans, but we don't say slogans here. So if they are said somewhere else, they are somewhere else.
It is
Yeah,
typical. No, it is typical.
It's,
so many
typical
times,
of other
no,
places.
No,
but
it's
certainly
it-
not us. Certainly not me. That's for sure.
Well,
I'm not a slogan
but
guy.
this is is the same type of use of just saying, you know what, we don't know what you guys are doing. You're enjoying the results. You enjoy the results where you're in, but you don't know how we got there. That is what is happening because you don't.
I'm not sure what I understand.
You
what
see,
mean.
you live in an environment and you're enjoying the environment, and this is what
But
we
you
are
are part
doing.
of the
Part of
environment.
the
And you're part of the
contributing
environment. You
to
don't
the
know
environment.
how you got there, but you are telling the
You
guys.
don't know how you got there. I
No,
don't
you don't know
understand.
because when you say we are in, let's say
We're talking right now about Rwanda Day. I have
let's-
never been to
yeah,
Rwanda
the
Day. so I
Let
don't
me tell you,
understand that.
Rwanda Day is part of Rwanda. So Rwanda now, while we are here, we are enjoying this kind of environment.
Ingabire is also part of Rwanda. That doesn't really mean anything.
Fine. But
Yeah.
we are enjoying this Rwanda that we have today. And Rwanda Day is part of a build-up that brought the environment we are living in today. It's part of it.
So
But you don't know how we got here.
But you're saying we
Yes.
don't know. But you seem,
No, you assume that you
seem
don't
to
know.
Be,
You
seem
just
to be
say that you don't
suggesting-
know.
No, you
just
seem to
say.
be suggesting that let me live in an environment. Let me enjoy that environment, but not question the environment.
No, I'm saying if
Not
you're
question
questioning,
how I get there?
no, you question, just question. But you're doing like if you don't know how we got here. You're just enjoying this environment, but you don't know what it takes to get here. And Rwanda
I'm
Day
talking
is
about
part
Rwanda
of the
Day.
thing.
No.
I
But Rwanda Day is a
think
particular thing.
I think
Don't
the
put it in
message
the
has
overall.
gotten home, and those people who organize the Rwanda Day, really, we need to get that information on the
But
impact
go
of
out,
the Rwanda Day.
Go out. Don't
We
say
will
need
go
to
out. We will go out,
No.
and we will look. We are telling
Please,
the officials
please do.
who are in charge of
Please do.
organizing the Rwanda Day. We need that information. Put it in the website or wherever. We will look for it, and we will look for you.
Go.
And on that note, we have to end the show this morning. It has been a whole hour, and it has been fun. If you could please play the Kanyombia bites again to end the
On a lighter note.
the news review on a lighter note. So good morning, people. I've
You're
been
the
your
one who
host,
brought it
Jackie.
up.
It's playing.
Sasa unaona kama mimi nimefaulu, na nimetoa watu wamoja wenye kuwa na idea mbaya njiani kama My Bobos, Mwizis, Mbaragas. Unacheka, iko mambo ya ajabu.
Naelewa.
Acha mambo kucheka, mambo ya kucheka hivi
Almost sounds
unacheka.
like it.
Mbaragas, Mwizis, My Bobos. Ndio zote na wengine.
Umeondoa
Ngoja subiri, maskinis. Maskinis. Na wengine wao wenye kupevuka
hawa walikuwa wanaenda kufanya mambo mabaya, lakini kulingana na kazi yako wameondoka
ndio
pale.
wanapata kazi.
Okay. Kulingana na wewe sasa hivi ni watu wangapi umeandika kazi?
Wengi
Kwa film yako.
Mbaragazi wamekuja, nimepata kazi wakapata pesa. Embassies na wamekuja nikatosa kwa embassy wakakuja wakapata pesa. Na viorezi na vikurizi, unaona vikurizi hao watu wa Mbikimo hao wamepata pesa na wakaza. Sasa unaona kama mimi nimefaulu kwa nimetoa watu wamoja wenye kuwa na idea mbaya.